morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to start the program. So please, could we come forward a bit? Thank you very much. Please, let's just stay behind the blue ribbon. On this note, I would like to invite the chairman, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, the NESG, Mr. Asue Ighodalo.
Good morning. I'm sorry, it's 10:30 and we missed it by 2 minutes. I'll tell you why. We were trying to wait for Professor Anya, who was a pioneer chief executive. He's on his way, he's not here yet, but I thought it's a busy work day, so we should start as close to when we said we would start. So I'd like to thank you all for coming. You want me to stay behind here? Okay, I thought it was... again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. My colleagues on the board of the NESG, here present, thank you very much for waiting behind after our board meeting. All past chairmen of the NESG, I can't see any of them yet, but I suspect a couple will show up. All our past chief executives, I know Frank is on his way. At least Frank is on his way. Frank. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and definitely, I don't like differentiating members of the fourth realm of the estate because they're also distinguished ladies and gentlemen. So you are covered by distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. On behalf of the board and management of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, I am delighted to welcome you all to this very historic event, which is the launch of our new corporate identity. In February 1993, Chief Ernest Shonekan, GCFR, KBE, convened the first economic summit, bringing together the public and the private sector leaders, diplomats, international institutions, and NGOs to discuss and dialogue in depth on the future of the Nigerian economy and how to leapfrog from the third world to the first world. We have since 1993, when we had that first summit, held 24 impactful economic summits, which have facilitated decisive policy changes in the Nigerian economy. The summit process birthed the Vision 2010, and the Nigerian Economic Summit Group participated extremely and very actively in that visioning process and in subsequent visioning processes. We are not yet there as a country. We all know that. We know there's still some way to go. But we, in the Economic Summit Group, remain extremely optimistic that with the continued focused and persistent interaction and impactful dialoguing between the private and the public sector, and our research work and our capacity support of government and government institutions and the legislature, we will ultimately attain our desired growth trajectory. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group has come a long way and has stayed true to its mandate to promote and champion the reform of the Nigerian economy into an open, globally competitive economy. We have become the foremost think tank in the country, and over the years, the NESG has been identified with a specific logo and corporate identity. So in the last 25, 26 years, we've carried this evolved logo and corporate identity. We on the board of the NESG now believe that as we evolve into a critical and strategic transformational phase as the NESG, and as the country evolves in a critical socio-economic and developmental phase, we, the NESG, require a more reflective and a more representative identity. Economic Summit is scheduled to hold on the 7th and 8th of October 2019 in Abuja. The theme for this year's summit is Nigeria 2050, Shifting Gears, the NESG and the summit process. And those who have been there advocating, supporting policy formation and research work in trying to ensure that the Nigerian economy is so much better, so much stronger, so much more competitive, and trying to ensure that in the shortest possible time, we can drive ourselves into the first world. I thank you for coming. God bless the NESG. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. I'd like to call the chairman of the Media and Publicity Committee of the NESG board, Mr. Udeme Ofort. He'll tell us about the logo, how they thought it through, how they conceptualized it, what each part of that logo means to us. Thank you. Udeme.
Thank you, Chairman. Can we have the first video, please? Sound. Economy, and while at it, the NESG has evolved into the foremost private sector think tank in Nigeria. However, like every good evolving organization, between our country's economic potential and its reality. While our key focus remains Nigeria, we've built alliances across Africa and beyond in order to enhance our capacity for realizing our objectives. In consonance with these changes in the NESG, our team of seasoned and creative professionals have worked tirelessly over the past few months to develop a new identity, which stays true to our foundational principles, yet adopts a contemporary look and feel to highlight our ever-relevant mandates and renewed vigor. The new brand identity, the new brand positioning strategy and related campaigns were developed after extensive research and concept testing by different stakeholders. Therefore, this corporate identity change expresses the dynamism that has been our personality in the last few years and expresses the flexible approach with which we like to proceed in the future. The logo is made up of three elements: a bold, contemporary, and aesthetically arranged typeface, an arrow which indicates the direction and speed that the Nigerian economy needs to achieve sustainable and inclusive growth. Described as global, the concept illustrates an outward-looking nation with the power of a collective purpose and vision to drive Nigerian dominance in the local economy and potential in the global economy. These elements come together to form the renewed identity of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. The color green being our national color remains, suggesting that all we do is in the national interest. It represents loyalty, faith, and commitment to sustainable and inclusive growth. The adoption of blue is in line with our earlier stated mandates. It symbolizes trust, loyalty, confidence, intelligence. Most importantly, the blue icon signifies that it is time for Nigeria to take its place and better the lives of its people to world standards. For more information, I invite you to visit our refreshed website and our social media pages at official NESG. At this point, may I now invite the chairman of the board of Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Mr. Asue Ighodalo, to step forward and unveil the new identity. Thanks for your attention.
Can I ask all the board members present to please join me here, please? All the members, Shonekan, everybody, all the board members, all of us at the board meeting today, please. Can you step out? Lazarus here, thank you. Frank, can we all step? Where's the CEO? Okay, yes, thank you. So, what's the process? Are we pushing a button or something? We're not pushing a button. This is local. Okay. I should pull her down. Is that? You said. Can we please just 2 minutes, Mr. Yusuf, who's the CEO of Veraki, and our first vice chairman, will spend 2 minutes just talking about the 25th summit. 2 minutes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And let me also add my thanks and to say that I'm delighted to see and speak to everyone here today. As what we've just witnessed, next turn and the next frontier for NESG. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group has in the last 25 years of its existence been at the center of dialogue. It is geared at turning around the fortunes of Nigeria to a globally competitive economy. Done that through our flagship program, the Nigerian Public-Private Dialogue platform called the Nigerian Economic Summit, NES. First Economic Summit held in 1993, and 24 summits after. I'm pleased to announce that on the 7th and 8th of October 2019, we will be having the 25th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit, which we hold at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, in Nigeria. We all know how much potential our dear nation possesses. However, potential, we all know again, is simply not enough. There's a need for us to plan and be deliberate, and also to delicately implement all of our plans. Our planning needs to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. That has always been our passion. In 1995, we facilitated a visioning session called the Vision 2010. The recommendations of the public-private volunteers that work on the document are mostly under-implemented, and the worst-case scenario that we predicted back then now is playing out today, which we are all witnessing. But all is not. We remain eternally optimistic. Unlike what some people may say or think, the Nigerian Economic Summit is not a talk shop, and the 25th Economic Summit will not be a talk shop. It is much more than talking. It's also about action. And so, a series of activities are scheduled to hold for the rest of the year that will then culminate in the summit on October 7th and 8th in Abuja. We are partnering with the Nigerian University Commission, NUC, to launch, and we have indeed launched, an essay competition for tertiary, for students in Nigerian universities. And in addition, in conjunction with LEAP Africa, we will be hosting a youth summit that will focus on how we can groom the next generation of leaders and also develop human capital. Furthermore, sometimes in September, we would have the NESG board touring 25 cities, marking our 25th anniversaries. And so we will tour 25 cities and have sessions with students in primary and secondary school in their schools around the concept of nation building. How can you serve, and how can students and the young ones help to build the nation of our dream? And so we hope to get feedback from the students, primary, secondary school students, who of course will be key stakeholders by the year 2015. Later in the year, we also will share a documentary that will highlight the impact of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group over the last 25 years of the summit process. And that documentary will also feature some of our funding directors. All these activities will then lead up to the two-day economic summit proper in Abuja that will start on the 6th with a startup pitch event where 10 startups who have interesting ideas will pitch their ideas to a panel, and the top 3 will then be recognized and rewarded on October 8th at the closing session of the summit. Being an anniversary summit, the summit will also then include an award giving session where we will give awards to deserving sponsors, deserving employees, deserving volunteers, and of course, deserving stakeholders whose stewardship, whose contribution have helped to lead to the progress that we've witnessed today. Discussions at the 25th anniversary of the summit will focus on job creation, the growth of the SME sector, the competitiveness of the economy, dismantling the pillars of corruption, encouraging sustainable growth and development, reinventing governance, and aligning our homegrown long-term development goals with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG. These are a number of things that will happen at the 25th Economic Summit. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who has made this unveiling session a success, and also appreciate your encouragement and support, and ask that we look forward to hosting key stakeholders and all of you at Abuja during the 25th Economic Summit on October 7th and 8th. And for more information on the 25th Summit, please visit our website, www.nesgroup.org. And of course, follow us on our social media handles at official NESG. Ladies and gentlemen, together we can make the summit a success, and more importantly, together we can work and collaborate to implement all the identified challenges to make our lives better and to ensure that by 2050, Nigeria has indeed realized its potential and is now one of the leading economies of the world. Thank you.
We'll take questions and answers in the auditorium. So please, pressmen, can we go into the auditorium for the press session with the Board of Directors of the NESG? Thank you.